You are lying in bed next to someone who loves you. You have a good job, nice apartment, stable life, and you're fantasizing about destroying all of it. Not because you're unhappy, because some part of you craves the chaos, the reset, the fire that would force you to rebuild from nothing. You have imagined quitting without notice, ending the relationship via text, selling everything and disappearing, just torching it all and watching it burn. And the fantasy feels good, which terrifies you. This is the self sabotage impulse, and it's not trying to destroy you, it's trying to save you from a life that feels like a cage you built yourself. Here's what nobody tells you about building a good life. Sometimes it feels like a trap. You did everything right. You got the degree, got the job, got the relationship, built the life everyone said would make you happy, and now you're here, and it's fine, it's good even. But fine feels like dying slowly. Good feels like a life sentence to predictability, and some part of you is screaming for disruption. You don't want to fail, you want to be free. And destruction is the fastest path to freedom you can imagine. This isn't depression. This is the part of you that knows you have optimized yourself into a corner. And the only way out of it feels like burning it down. Let's be specific about what you're actually feeling. Boredom. But not the harmless kind. The kind that makes you want to pick a fight just to feel something. The kind that makes you fantasize about affairs, not because you want someone else, but because you want the intensity. You are addicted to newness, to possibility, to the version of life that adds stakes. And now everything's safe, predictable and controlled. You know what tomorrow looks like, and next month, and next year, and that certainty is suffocating you. Your brain craves novelty, danger, the chemical rush of uncertainty. And when life gets too stable, your nervous system starts looking for ways to create chaos. Not because you're broken, because you're understimulated. And destruction is stimulation. But here's the deeper truth. You don't recognize yourself anymore. The person you have become is responsible, mature and put together. Everything you were supposed to become, and you hate them. You look in the mirror and see someone who's sold out, who choose comfort over authenticity, who built a life that looks good but feels empty. You miss the version of yourself that was messy, chaotic, and predictable. The one who made bad decisions but felt alive doing it. And burning your life down, that's not about destroying what you have. It's about killing who you have become to get the old you back. Let's talk about the relationship specifically, because this is where the impulse gets most dangerous. You're with someone good, someone stable, someone who loves you, and you want to leave. Not because they did anything wrong, because they represent everything about your life that feels like a cage. Every time they talk about the future, you feel trapped. Every time they show you the love, you feel guilty because you're fantasizing about the door. You pick fights hoping they'll end it, so you don't have to. You create distance, you imagine confessing something unforgivable just to blow it up. And you know it's self-sabotage, but self-sabotage feels more honest than pretending. You're not suffocating. Same with your job, you're good at it. You're successful, you should be grateful. But you fantasize about walking out mid-meeting, sending an email that burns every bridge, just quitting with no plan, and figuring it out later. Because your career isn't feeding your soul, it's funding your life. And there's a difference. You're making money but losing yourself. Climbing a ladder you're not sure you want to be on. And the higher you climb, the harder it is to admit you chose the wrong mountain. So you fantasize about falling on purpose, because at least the fall would be a choice. What you're really craving is not destruction, it's liberation. You want to be the person who doesn't care what people think, who makes impulsive decisions, who lives by instinct instead of obligation. You want to feel young again, reckless again, like your life is still being written instead of already determined. And in your mind, the only way to get there is to destroy what's constraining you, to become so unmoved that you're forced to rebuild as someone different. But that's the lie. You think burning your life down will set you free, but all it does is create different problems. Let's go darker. Because sometimes this impulse isn't just about freedom, it's about punishment. You don't think you deserve the good life you've built. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop, for someone to realize you are a fraud. So you want to destroy it first, before it gets taken away, before you're exposed, before you fail. This is imposter syndrome turned suicidal. Not literally, but you would rather blow up your life than wait for it to blow up on you. If you ruin it intentionally, at least you're in control. At least you can say it was your choice. What you need to understand is this: the grass isn't greener on the other side, it's on fire. And you are romanticizing the flames. You think destroying your life will solve the emptiness. But the emptiness isn't about your circumstances, it's about you. You're bringing the same brain, the same wounds, the same patterns into whatever comes next. And 6 months after you burn it all down, you'll be lying in a different bed with a different person, fantasizing about burning that down too. Because the problem isn't your life, it's your relationship to it. So what do you do with this impulse? Because ignoring it doesn't work, it just gets louder. You acknowledge it. This part of you that wants chaos isn't evil. It's trying to tell you something, that you are understimulated, that you are living life inauthentically, that you have optimized for safety at the expense of aliveness. And instead of destroying everything, you introduce chaos strategically, small fires, controlled burns. Quit the job but keep the relationship. End the relationship but keep the job. Make one big change instead of nuking everything. Take a risk that scares you but doesn't destroy you. Say the thing you've been afraid to say. Break one rule you've been following out of obligation. Give yourself permission to be messy without being destructive. Or here's the harder option: redesign the life you have instead of abandoning it. Figure out what part of your current life is the cage. Not all of it, part of it. Maybe it's the job. Maybe it's where you live. Maybe it's the way you spend your weekends. Maybe it's the version of yourself you perform for others. Change that, not by burning everything, by being honest about what isn't working and having the courage to alter it. Because you don't need to destroy your life, you need to reclaim it. Here's what burning your life down actually does: it gives you a story, a before and after, a dramatic transformation you can point to. But transformation doesn't require distraction, it just requires choice, and choice is scarier than chaos. Because it means taking responsibility. Burning everything is easy, it's dramatic, it's definitive, and it absolves you of having to do the harder work of changing incrementally. But the person who burns their life down and the person who rebuilds it are the same person. And if you don't change who you are, you will just build another prison. So if you want to burn your life down, ask yourself this first: what are you actually trying to escape? Is it your circumstances or is it yourself? Because you can run from your life, but you can't run from who you are. And who you are is coming with you no matter how far you burn. The part of you that wants destruction isn't wrong, it's just confused. It thinks freedom lives on the other side of chaos. But real freedom is here, in the life you have, in the choices you make, in your willingness to be honest about what you need, and brave enough to change it without nuking everything. You don't need to burn it all down. You just need to stop pretending you're happy with a life that doesn't fit. Change it, reshape it, make it yours. But don't destroy it hoping the next version will be easier. The next version is just you, and you're the only constant in every life you will ever build. So maybe start there, not with the fire, but with the truth.